Hey, what's up, guys? So this is just a quick check-in on area of composite shapes. So a composite shape is a shape that's made of two or more shapes put together. And so our job is to figure out what shapes make up that composite shape, what are our measurements, what formulas are we going to need. Okay, so that's the process that we go through, being able to put pieces together when not everything is right there for us. So for example, I have this composite shape. And I'm looking for, okay, what shapes do I see within it that could help me find the total area here? So if I draw a line right here, okay, I have two shapes. I have this trapezoid over here, and I have a parallelogram over here. Remember, parallelograms are just like slanted rectangles. We just kind of push the corner, tilted it. Okay, so we have those two shapes together. And so now our job is to figure out, well, what's the area of both of those? And so if I look at my chart, what formulas I need are the trapezoid one and the parallelogram. Okay, so for trapezoid, I need 1/2 base 1 plus base 2 times the height of it. And for my parallelogram, I need base times height. So our job is to identify all those pieces, plug it in, and see what we end up with. Okay, so a trapezoid, the bases are parallel sides. So parallel means they are the same distance apart forever. They're never going to cross. They stay the same distance the whole way. Okay, and we can mark it with these little arrows. So those are going to be my bases. So I already know the measurement of this base. Okay, so if I start plugging in, one of my bases is 8. I need to figure out the measurement of this one. And I don't have it just yet, but I'm going to use some deductive reasoning here. I'm going to extend this line here because right here, this distance, well, it's the same as what I have at the top up here. So this has to be 7 feet as well. And if this whole measurement is 20 feet, that means that this missing part over here has to be 13, because 13 plus 7 will get me 20. Okay, so my second base is going to be 13 feet. And then the height connects my bases. So the height is going to be this distance right here that connects it. And so now I have to figure out, well, what's that height? Well, I know that over here I have my parallelogram. And I know that opposite sides of parallelograms are equal. So that means that this height has to equal 11 feet because this is the same side. Okay, so my height here is 11. Now I have all my pieces for it. So then I go ahead and I solve and figure out what that equals. Okay, I do the same thing for my parallelogram. I need my base and my height. Well, I have 11 here. And then the height is always perpendicular to the base. And I know that that distance is 7 feet. So it's 11 times 7. So I already know my parallelogram is 77. My trapezoid, I have to do a little bit more work. But what I would do then is I would add those two areas together, and that gives me my total area. Okay, and so that's the process over and over. What are my two shapes? What are the measurements? What formulas do I need? Okay, so if I look at this one, okay, lots of ways you could see it. I could see it as two squares if I cut it like that. Oops. I could see it as two rectangles if I see it like that. Okay, either way you see it, we would still end up with the same area, just we're doing the calculations a little bit differently. Okay, so if I did it like this, I have two rectangles. I know that this rectangle, well, first my formula this time is going to be this right here. Okay, so we're focused on area of rectangles. So I know it's base times height. So I have 16 here, and this one is 8. So this would be 16 times 8. Okay, so then I figure that out. All right, so then my second rectangle is still going to be base times height. So I need to figure out what my base and height here are. Okay, well, I know that up to this point right here, that's 16. And I know that between here and here, that's 8 inches because that's what it says there. So 16 plus 8, that's a total of 24 inches right there. Okay, so using what I know to help me figure out what I don't know. All right, this missing side length here, well, I know this first half was 8. I know the whole thing, all of it together is 16, but I already have 8 of it. That means this bottom half has to be 8 as well. So my area here would be 24 times 8. Okay, and then again, I'm going to add those together. That would give me my total area. Okay, so what are my two shapes? What formulas do I need? Find the measurements for those. Okay, here I have a triangle. Right, I have this triangle, and I have a semicircle, half circle. Right, so I'm looking here now. I have a triangle and a semicircle. So I'm looking at this formula, and I'm looking at this one, but remember, this is for a full one, so I'm going to have to end up dividing by 2. Okay, so I have to find the area of my triangle, and I have to find the area of my semicircle. Okay, so I know this is 1/2 base times height. So I need the base. So I need, this is the base, okay? It's going to be one of my sides, and that's 6. So this is going to be 1/2 times 6 is the base. And then the height is always perpendicular. Where it makes that right angle, that's the height. So my height is 4. So I would figure out my area of my triangle. For my semicircle, remember it's going to be pi times radius squared, and then divide that by 2, because I only want half of the circle. Okay, I need radius. Right now, this is the diameter. To find radius, I divide that by 2. So radius is going to be 3 yards. Remember, that's halfway across. Okay, and so now I'm ready to plug in. So I'm going to have pi times 3 squared divided by 2. Okay, and then again, I would find both of those, add those together, and there's my total area. Okay, so again, identify your shapes that make up the composite shape. What formulas do you need? What formulas do you need? And then find the measurements for those formulas. Add the two together, and there's your composite shape.